I was locked up. I had the crazy idea of starting a garden, and everybody told me it was never going to work. They were like, bro, are you out of your mind? They're never going to let you start a garden. You need to just get in touch with reality and quit smoking whatever you're smoking. But I was willing to try because they had just started a peer support mental health program because they said, hey, we have inadequate resources for people with mental health challenges. We need to provide things. So we were doing peer support. We were basically showing up to help one another. We got a certain amount of training. But additionally, they said, we want to put whatever we can out there. So if you have any ideas, give us the ideas. So I said, yeah, we should have a garden. This could be a therapeutic program. People get the opportunity to nurture things. They get to eat the benefit of their labor. It gets to show them the value and connection between work and reward. Basically, I put all this stuff together. I wrote this really big proposal, and they were like, okay. But the problem was there was no money for it. So then I reached out to somebody locally who worked at a church and basically said, okay, I'll try to organize. We got all the plants donated. We got all the tools donated. We got everything we needed donated. And we actually started having a garden. I remember how amazing it was to have this little plot of land that was outside of the pod that we lived in that nobody used before that. It was just sitting there. It was like fenced off and you couldn't use it. All of a sudden, we're sitting here growing things. We're growing things and we're actually getting to eat them. Let me tell you, when you're sitting in prison and you haven't had fresh produce in God knows how long, you get to eat something you grew yourself in a garden. You want to talk about just a magical moment? I just remember literally sitting out there, and we weren't actually supposed to eat them outside, so you can yell at me if you want. But we'd like pick a cherry or a cherry tomato and just be like, oh my God, like this is just like divine. And you just sit there and you like look up at the sky and it's just that moment of feeling perfect. And that was one of the things that was the most meaningful. And that's why I was grateful they let us do it. Now I know it got shut down temporarily because of like conflict with staff and whatever. As far as I know, it's open back up again. I had somebody reach out not that long ago and tell me that it's open and operating. I think that's great because I think programs like that, just like dog training programs, are absolutely pivotal in people changing their lives. And the more programs we provide like that, the more people are going to get out of prison having changed their lives.